Hello and welcome back to The Rusted Brush. This is part 6 in my series, Painting the Uniforms of the Empire Provinces. If this is your first time here, in each episode I'll explore a different province of the Empire, giving you a bit of a background on its lore, culture, and its heraldry, and then I build and paint a model that represents that province on the tabletop. As always, I'm not tied to a specific timeline or edition. I'm drawing from sources like The Empire at War, various editions of Empire Army books and rulebooks, uniforms and heraldry of the Empire, and the many online wikis. If this series keeps going strong, I'll be looking at city uniforms and unique regiments as well. Today, we're going to be looking at one of the more iconic provinces of the Empire, Reikland. Reikland stands as the political and economic center of the Empire, located in the west bordering Middenland, Talabecland, Sturland, and Vissenland. It is the wealthiest and most powerful of the provinces, housing the grand city of Altdorf, capital of the Empire and the seat of the Emperor himself. Altdorf will be covered in a future video, so I won't be discussing it here. Reikland represents the beating heart of the imperial power. Bordered by the Reich River and blessed with fertile lands, thriving trade routes, and powerful institutions like the College of Magic and the Great Temples of Sigmar, Reikland is considered safer than any other province. That being said, bandits and pirates can be found in the waters and forests of the province. Reiklanders are fiercely proud of their heritage as the people of Sigmar, the founder of the Empire. Known for their optimism, open-mindedness, and strong belief in imperial unity, they see themselves as the natural heart of the empire, culturally refined, politically influential, and militarily ambitious. Altdorf, the capital, sets the tone of fashion and politics alike, with nobles and merchants alike pushing for great centralization and even expansionist wars, such as reclaiming lost territory from Britannia. Reiklander nobles often pursue fast-track military careers, while middle classes obsess over courtly fashion. However, this pride can often come off as arrogance. Reiklanders are mocked everywhere as vain, smug, and shallow, quick to act and eager to return home. They are viewed as lacking endurance both in war and in their indulgent social lives. Reiklanders take great pride in their position at the center of the empire, and their state troops reflect this with the uniforms that are among the most polished and well supplied in all the provinces. The colors of Reikland are white with splashes of black and red, a bold and striking combination that speaks both to purity and martial valor. Reikland fields a well-balanced and professional military force that outshines those of the other provinces. The banner of Reikland depicts an eagle, representing Myrmidia, a goddess of war. In its left talon is a hammer representing devotion to Sigmar. In its right is a sword, representing the rune fang of Reikland. Atop its head is a crown representing the ruling emperor. Finally, the imperial cross on the eagle's shield represents imperial unity. Now let's move on to the model I've put together to represent Reikland. We'll be going over the parts list first. To start, I went with a body from Wargames Atlantic Conquistadors. This is a fairly clean and armored kit, which I felt reflected the uniforms of Reikland well. For the arms and sword, I got these from the Empire Greatsword kit. Not much to say here. The poofy sleeve is great for the fashion sense of the Reikland. The shield is from the Empire State Troop kit. The pouch and sheathed sword is from the Warlord Games Lanzknecht Pikeman. I thought the sword would make sense as a secondary for a soldier who could afford it. And lastly, the helmet's from Perry Miniatures European Infantry. Now, onto assembly. Of all my assemblies in this project, this was the easiest. Simply dry fitting and gluing the model was all I needed to do. For the base, I used some bricks from Green Stuff World for a simple cobblestone path. I'm going to keep the base separate from the model so I can paint the bricks easier. Now it's time to paint. I'd start by priming the model with Wraithbone. The white is going to be the important bit of the model, so I'm going to be working on that first. I paint all the areas I want white with Army Painter Holy White. This is more of a gray tone. And that's what painting white is, more or less. Start with gray tones and go lighter and lighter in gray tones. Speaking of, I then go with a mix of Holy White and Vallejo Cold White to brighten these areas up. I move on to painting the red, and to not look like the Auslan soldier, I decided to go for a more burgundy red, and I thought that would look better. For this, I'm using Murder Scene Speed Paint. I then use Black Legion contrast paint on the helmet and on the poofy sleeve as a checker pattern. This is super easy and looks great since the sleeves are slashed into rectangles already. Now normally I paint the metallic after a varnish on the clothing, but I'm doing something different here. So I'm painting the metallic now, and I first use polished steel speed paint on all those areas. I then paint the shoes and leather bits with AK Mud Brown. After that, I give the model a wash of vanilla oil to get into all the dips and crevices. Once that dries, I applied a satin varnish and gave the model an enamel wash of AK engine grime, including the base as well. I wiped away the enamel with white spirits, leaving it in the crevices, and then highlighted the white areas with Vallejo Cold White. The burgundy was highlighted with Murder Scene, mixed with a bit of Mephiston Red, and then I highlighted the browns with AK Tan Earth. The metal was highlighted with P3 Quicksilver. I also used this to add some scratches to the black helmet as well. The final touches were to paint the flesh, and I start by using a wash of Crusader skin. And with that dried, I painted it with Cadian flesh tone, mixed with a tiny bit of Crusader skin. For the base, I painted some bricks with Sepia Sephirum and some with burnished red speed paint. This I thought made for a unique, older looking road. Once it dried, I then added some dirt and vegetation in those crevices. And with that done, I glued the bottle to the base, and it was finished. This was a bit more simple compared to some of the other models we've painted so far, but I think it came out well. I thought about keeping the model cleaner and not using an enamel wash at all, but I wanted the models to seem like they're in mid-battle and not on parade. Let me know what province you want to see next. I'll put out a poll, but we are down to Middenland, Vistenland, Ostermark, Nordland, and Solent, so we're getting close to finishing this project. As for other projects I'm working on, I finished a commission for a friend. He wanted a Talabicland captain for his Empire army he is starting. The bits I used are a body of a warrior priest from the War Altar, the left arm is from the old Empire Soldiers kit, the legs are from the old Empire Spearman kit, the right arm is from Leopold's Leopard Company, the shield is from the current Empire State troops, the reef is from the Great Swords kit, and the helmet is from Perry Miniatures European Infantry. Outside of that, I finished painting Bronzino's Galloping Gun, and 12 crossbowmen from Last Sword Miniatures. I wanted to add some Chilean mercenaries to my Estalian army, and these feel great. I'll be adding more later on as well, and we'll be doing a video on how I painted them. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Take care, everyone.